Hi Scorpios, happy birthday to the November born Scorpios. I hope that you enjoy yourselves and be safe. This is going to be your love reading for your birthday month for some of you, or birthday season still for the rest. Okay, so Scorpios, the first card that came out, which one came out first? I can't remember if it was the Star in reverse or the Three of Discs. I'm using like 4 different decks. I hope that you guys like that for my oldie subscribers. Let's see what we're working with though. Okay, so 3 of Discs, and then the Star in reverse, and then the 5 of Discs and the World. And I absolutely love this deck. It's like my new favorite deck. So I feel like this scenario is obviously going to be different for a few different Scorpios out there. Excuse me, but I feel like you may feel like you have to compete with the world or other influences in you or in your love interest life. And the question and the term that I use while shuffling, I use love interest, okay, so that it can go for people who are single, who maybe kind of like someone, and then as well as the couples. Hopefully the message, you find helpful messages for both of you, whether you're coupled or single. So yeah, maybe feeling left out as someone moves up in their life, because that could be the presence of the Star in reverse. And maybe feeling a bit weak or disappointed, or feeling like you missed opportunities. And then there is possibly a wound in your heart, kind of like an icebox. And I love the way how they depicted this 5 of Discs in this deck because of that. And then the other scenario could be, I feel like you want recognition in your own field of some sort, because then you've got the 3 of Pentacles here, or the 3 of Discs in this deck, and then the World. So it's like you want recognition in your own field, and some of you are getting a new job, because what's underneath that, you have the King of Chalice upright and then the Ace of Wands. So I feel like that can signify a new job, which can possibly bring better, can make your life better in all other aspects in your life, especially love, because once you're confident with finances and stable in the working world, then your other life kind of falls into place. Not to make it materialistic, but I mean, come on, this is the world we live in nowadays. You need money to survive. Some of you may be receiving a job overseas, and that could be the presence of this World card here, and this 3 of Discs. Maybe moving to another place for work. And you may have to leave a lover, and that's possibly why the 5 of Discs is here. And this newfound responsibilities may be making you feel like it's too much or overwhelming. So that's why you possibly feel like the Star in reverse for some of you. Or you want the focus to be on you, wishing that a certain partnership possibly would acknowledge, like you want acknowledgement, and you want to like kind of ascend to a higher level, and you want them to notice you. And you want to kind of go to the next level, or you want them to show you affection. Could be the scenario. But overall, I feel like someone is feeling neglected due to possibly work life, whether it's you that's working too hard and you can't focus on your work life, or someone that you're interested in. They may have a busy life and a busy schedule, and they're not able to tend to you the way that you would like. So it's gotten you feeling a bit like you're losing them to the world. Or like I said, for some of you, you're traveling for a new job, or you receive a new job offer from across the ponds from where you live. Underneath that, you've got the King of Chalices and then the Ace of Wands. So this definitely I feel like for some of you, this could mean that you coming up as yourself. The King of Chalices, it can be a woman because this is a general reading. But this is like a compassionate, loving, nurturing, intuitive. You can talk to this person about anything. They're very warm-hearted. Even if it's something to do with business, like this is just very like relaxed. Like it's not, they don't make it so nerve-wracking or like intimidating. They're easy. Not like that, but they're, you know. So this is the Scorpio card, or it could be another Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, or just someone, Cancer, Pisces, or Cancer, Pisces, yeah, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, or it could be someone that exudes this kind of energy. But with it paired up with the Ace of Wands, I feel like it means that maybe you're demanding a little bit more of attention, or maybe you're climbing up the ladder and becoming the best of yourself, being very passionate. Or you want someone to show you this affection and passion to you. And then you got from the romance angels, you got love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. And then from the Madison cards, which is Native American influence, you got the eagle in reverse. And I believe this is spirit energy. Yeah, so in the contrary position, if you have pulled eagle in reverse, you have forgotten your power of and connectedness to the Great Spirit. You may have failed to recognize the light that is always available for those who seek illumination. Heal your broken wings with love. Loving yourself as you're loved by the Great Spirit is the lesson which the contrary eagle brings. Well, so yeah, definitely focus on loving yourself first. I feel like this is saying to focus on your own finances, focus on building up your own, if you have anything that you're insecure about, or anything that you feel like you want to change, build that up first. And then I feel like you subconsciously start to attract the love that you want, or the attention that you want from someone who is possibly busy, and you just feel more fulfilled and more steady on your own 2 feet. So loving yourself as you are loved by the Great Spirit is the lesson which the contrary eagle brings. On some level, ego is telling you to seek higher ground on which to build your nest. The nest is the home of the heart and cannot remain in a swamp. If your nest is in a swamp, this may be connected to your belief that your wings are clipped by an impossibility in your present status. So yeah, even for some of you, there isn't any home cards. So even for some of you who maybe feel like you want a better home life, or better anything that you can just revamp, and I just feel would give you a whole clean sweep, and you'll feel more confident in your love life as well. Eagle's nest is high in the mountains where the air is clean and the movement free. It may be your time for a vision quest so that you can commute with Great Spirit. Fasting and praying surely bring an answer. Seek lofty ideals and illumination will be close at hand. So when it comes to your love interest, whether you're single or coupled, you've got the High Priestess in reverse. And then you've got the Four of Cups in reverse. So very different from the traditional deck, but I absolutely love the way these are depicted. Even though they're in reverse, I'll just show you them upright so you can bask in their beauty. So with these in reverse, I feel like your love interests, they may be ignoring their feelings. Like knowledge is kind of obscured, and knowledge is they're not really being forthcoming with their feelings. There may be some secrets that are yet to be revealed, especially paired up with this Four of Cups card reverse. I feel like they mean that they want to reveal it to you, or this can mean a symbol. This can mean like I feel like there's an imbalance, like they want to but they don't. It's like a tug of war that they have with their own emotions and their own psyche. Probably a battle between their mind and their heart. Right underneath that, you also have the World card in reverse again, and then this time you have the Oak King. So it's a combination of these cards, and these cards are from the Green Witch Tarot. There is a sense of unfinished business or incomplete tasks. They may be ready there's a rift in how much they are willing to give this partnership or union, whether to act on it or take care of their own dreams, or whether to include you in them. debating if they should let you in on their innermost world or in their feelings, or if they should just keep them to themselves, is what I feel like. There is a tug of war with taking a leap of faith and taking action, or leaving things as they are. But the point is, I feel like they do notice you, Scorps. Like, because especially with this Four of Cups in reverse, it's like they're starting to take notice to what is around them, to the opportunities that are around them. But they may be still battling a little bit with this High Priestess in reverse. But I feel like you may have brought this on yourself, Scorps, because especially from the previous reading from the previous month, I feel like maybe they may have, or even if it's not been last month, it can be years, months that have passed on. But I feel like you maybe have been very standoffish to them, and now they're kind of reluctant into showing you that much affection, because they feel like it probably wasn't reciprocated in how they would have liked in the past. I get the sense of them feeling like it's a never-ending story when it comes to you. Especially with these two. It's like, this is like a tug of war. The World in reverse is like unfinished business. The Hangman, or the Oak King in reverse in this deck, is basically speaking of actually taking a chance and not being so lenient, and not being so like letting go and waiting. And I was like, so it's like, I feel like there's a tug. Both of these cards, and then the two cards above it is like a tug of war, like a battle or conflict of interest as well. But I feel like they feel like it's a never-ending story when it comes to you. Like, whenever they feel it's over, or that their feelings aren't worth exploring, the feeling probably comes rushing right back. But I definitely feel like they're trying to find a new way of relating or dealing with this unfinished business, especially with these two cards. You may be separated geographically as well, which could be the presence of this world tree. And they want to take the steps to reunite. And then underneath that, from the message from the love angels that they have express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So definitely this is like, and then with control issues, I definitely feel like this is something that they're battling with. Go ahead, allow the situation to unfold naturally. And then for them, from the Native American, they have dog. And dog is number 14 is equivalent to is message of loyalty. Loyalty. All the Southwest and Plain Indians tribes had dogs. These noble animals would often give warning signs of approaching danger. They helped in the hunt and were a great source of warmth on longer winter nights. Since the canine tribe has many breeds, early Indian dogs were usually half wild. This wildness, however, never divested the owners of their dog's innate loyalty. Dog has been considered the servant of humanity throughout history. If a person carries dog medicine, he or she is usually serving others or humanity in some way. Here you will find the charity worker, the philanthropist, the nurse, the counselor, the minister, and the soldier. Dog was the servant soldier that guarded the tribe's lodges from surprise attack. Dog is a medicine that embodies the loving gentleness of best friend and the half-wild protector energy of territorial imperative. Like Anubis, the jackal dog protected Egypt. Dog is a guardian. Throughout history, dog has been the guardian of how as well as ancient secrets. You know what I just thought of? Have you ever seen Harry Potter? And I can't remember which number of it, but I know that they have like a dog guarding something. So that just popped into my head. It has like a 3-headed dog. I forget the name, but it's guarding some secret pathway. Anywho, dog has been the guardian of how as well as ancient secrets, hidden treasures, and babies, while mothers were cooking on their field. Dog honors its gifts and its loyalty to the trust placed in his care. In examining dog medicine, you might find that you have found personal memories of owning and loving a dog pet as well. The message that dog is trying to give you is that you must delve deeply into your sense of service to others. Canines are genuinely service-oriented animals and are devoted to their owners with a sense of loyalty that supersedes how much they are treated. If a dog has been yelled at or paddled, it still returns love to the owner, who was the source of its bad treatment. This does not come from stupidity, but rather from a deep and compassionate understanding of human shortcomings. It is as if a tolerant spirit dwells in the heart of every canine that acts as only to be of service. That's actually ties in well if you're reading, well, which is coming in the section of your partner or your love interest, because I feel like this is the message to them, saying like, no matter how much you have probably scorned them or stung them in the past, they still should remain loyal to you, because possibly you are the true love. Or this could be saying that they need to be of service to the world. Like I was saying, for some of you, you may feel like they're neglected, and this is where their energy is going, because they feel like they have loyalty to the world and to their own dreams and ambitions. I mean, obviously everyone has loyalty to their own dreams and ambitions, but you get my gist. You can also see that dogs have had the loyalty beaten out of them. They cower and cry at the slightest look of disapproval. But this is not their normal nature. Some varieties of dogs have been trained against their natures to be brutal and vicious. Out of a sense of service, these breeds have adopted the attack-oriented desires of their owners. They carry an altered genetic memory of what service means if they are not, or if they are to be approved by their masters. Dog medicine asks you to look how readily your sense of loyalty is countermanded by your need for approval. If you have pulled the dog card, there are several questions you need to consider, depending on the situation about which you are asking. Have I recently forgotten that I owe my allegiance to my personal truth in life? Is it possible that gossip or the opinions of others have jaded my loyalty to a certain friend or group? Have I denied or ignored someone who is trying to be my loyal friend? Have I been loyal and true to my goals? So these are the questions that your love interest should be asking themselves. Okay, so moving along. The message from Spirit to Scorpios. You receive the 7 of Swords in reverse. The King of Cups in reverse. So the King of Cups is coming up again for you guys. So definitely some focus is on you, which is understandable. This is your season. The Death card. And then the 9 of Swords. And the 9 of Swords has like a kind of a way different meaning in this deck than it does in the other ones. It's actually quite beautiful. So that's why it's kind of hard, not hard, but to interpret the message, just bear with me a bit, okay? But first off, I feel like the message is definitely telling you to release the sneakiness. I feel like everyone is trying to have one up on the next person, or to not seem so vulnerable to the other person. And stop being so strategic and have this strong sense of control. More so accept counsel, like accept advice from other people, and accept input from other people as well. Can't always do everything always on your own. Let down the ego guard. You don't always have to be a step ahead. I feel like teamwork is advised, and to be a team player, because you got the Lovers reversed here and the 3 of Pentacles reversed underneath it in the Green Witch Tarot. Well, the Lady and the Lord is what this is called in this deck. And then the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. 3 of Pentacles came up as well, again as well. So either someone has just got a lot of obligations or a lot of things that they need to tend to outside of the relationship, and they may be hindering, or there could be more than one love interest, or a lot of people to choose from, a lot of suitors. But definitely allow room, I feel like, because this is along the message of, these are the messages of what Spirit has to offer. Allow room for transformation, because you've got the Death card here, and then you've got you in reverse. Your own way of life, your own beliefs, they may be kind of shaken up a bit, because with this King of Cups coming up in reverse, definitely how you do things, I feel like it's going to be ruffled a bit. You're going to ruffle your feathers, which is understandable, because it is your season. So there's going to be a lot of focus on how you are and your inner world, and how the things you could do that can change. So there may need to be a painstaking transformation process to say goodbye to how you are used to acting or coping with you coming up in reverse. And then with the Death card. There may need to be some sacrifices on your end if you want to get to where you want to be. Letting go of control, because pressure causes beauty, health, and justice. It's kind of what this card symbolizes in this deck, the Nine of Swords. They are guiding you to rise to your higher self. Kind of like a higher position of rank and power. Turn the negative into a positive. Possibly consider and ponder on your views about marriage and commitment as well. Try to understand your emotions and don't deny them, especially if it's out of ego due to the attention you possibly may or may not be getting from someone. They also could be telling you to love your work. Do something that gets your heart and your soul going. And others of you, you may be involved with someone at work, because that could also be the presence of this Three of Pentacles coming up twice. With the Lovers in reverse underneath this section of what they're advising. And then you have getting to know each other. Some of you may even have to accept your partner's place in the world or standing within a certain group or an organization that you may not be too fond of. And that may be the presence of this Three of Pentacles and this Lady and the Lord in reverse. Rather, it can be a belief, it can be a religion, it can just be a sport, it can be anything, a hobby that they're interested in. And they may be kind of dividing you. Get to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership is the message from the Romance Angel. Now you've got 3 cards that came out in the Medicine cards. I won't read the whole story, even though they're brilliant and beautiful, but they're kind of lengthy, as you can tell. You've got Bat, which is rebirth. And this is all coming in the advice of what Spirit is advising you to do this month in your love life. So whether to do with actual a lover or just to do with loving yourself is the messages that came across, okay? Sorry, Scott. So yeah, Bat. Rebirth. Steeped in the mystery of Mesoamerican tribal ritual is the legend of Bat, akin to the ancient Buddhist belief in reincarnation in Central America. Bat is a symbol of rebirth. The bat has for centuries been a treasured medicine of the Aztec, Toltec, Tolucan, and Mayan peoples. Bat embraces the idea of shamanistic death. The ritual death of the healer is steeped in secrets and highly involved in initiation rites. Shaman death is the symbolic death of the initiate to old ways of life and of personal identity. The initiation that brings the right to heal and to be called shaman is necessarily preceded by ritual death. Most of these rituals are brutally hard on the body, mind, and spirit. In light of today's standards, it can be very difficult to find a person who can take the abuse and come through it with their balance intact. And the basic idea of ancient initiations was to break down all the former notions of the self that were held by the shaman to be. This could entail brutal tasks of physical strength and psychic ability, and having every emotional button pressed or pushed hard. Taunting and spitting on the initiate was common, and taught him or her to endure the duress of humility and fortitude. The final initiation step was to be buried in the earth for 1 day and to be reborn without the former ego in the morning. This ritual is very similar to the Night of Fear practiced by natives of the Turtle Island. In this ritual, the shaman-to-be is sent to a certain location to dig his or her grave and spend the night in the womb of Mother Earth totally alone, with the mouth of the grave covered by a blanket. Darkness, the sounds of animals prowling, quickly confronts the initiate with his or her fears. As darkness of the grave has its place in this ritual, so does the cave of the bat. Hanging upside down is the symbol for learning to transpose your former self into a newborn being. This is also the position that babies assume when they enter the world from the womb of woman. If Bat has appeared in your cards today, it symbolizes the need for ritualistic death of some way of life that no longer suits your new growth pattern. This can mean a time of letting go of old habits and assuming the position in life that prepares you for rebirth, or in some cases, initiation. In every case, that signals rebirth of some part of yourself or the death of old patterns. If you resist your destiny, it can be long, drawn-out, or painful death. The universe is always asking you to grow and become your future. To do so, you must die in shaman's death. And you got whale. I believe that's record keeper. Record keeper, yeah. I didn't read the poem, but in the other one, but whale of mighty oceans, you have seen it all. Secrets of the agents are heard within your call. Teach me how to hear your words and how to understand the very roots of history of when our world began. Oh gosh. Okay. Whale medicine people are coded in their DNA to understand that sound frequencies can bring up records in the memories of ancient knowledge. They are usually clairaudient or able to hear both very low and very high frequencies. They are usually also psychically developed and fairly telepathic. Many times, however, they are not awakened to the gifts until it is time to use the stored records. Many whale medicine people are able to tap into the universal mind of Great Spirit. And you had, but this was in reverse, so definitely. I feel like your dreams and your omens are going to be really important this month as well, Scorpio. And have no idea how or what they know, but they just know. Only later, when they receive confirmation, do they begin to understand how they know or why they received the impressions. Whale medicine teaches us to use the sounds and frequencies that balance our emotional bodies and heal our physical forms. To recall why the shaman's drum brings healing and peace is to align with whale's message. The drum is the universal heartbeat and aligns all beings heart to heart. If you pulled the whale card, you are being asked to tap into the records and allow yourself to be sung by those who have the original language. We are the only creatures who do not have our own unique cry or call. Find yours, allow your voice to use the sound to release tension or emotion. Whale signals a time of finding your origins, of seeing your overall destiny as coded in your DNA, and of finding the sounds that will release those records. You may never be the same again. I'm skimming through it because it's getting too long. This will open your personal record so that you may further explore your soul's history and commune with Whale, who carries the history of us all. Then you got Salmon. Wisdom and inner knowing. So I definitely pay attention to your dreams and stuff. Salmon is the sacred keeper of wisdom and inner knowing, who despite strong river currents will always return to the place of its creation. Its determination is driven by the wisdom of instinct and inner knowing, which yields a sense of purpose that cannot be thwarted by external forces. Coming full circle, Salmon medicine people finish what they began, bringing life's events and cycles to closure. If salmon swarm into your cards today, it may be telling you that to trust your gut and inner knowing at this time. Avoid the influence of those who may have hidden agendas or who manipulate events for their personal gain. Do you need to reflect on personal experiences that will help you decide whether the tide is ebbing or flowing in a direction that benefits your forward movement or growth? Go back into the beginning and retrace your path to this point. The wisdom is inside you, and when honoring it, you will not go wrong. I'm skimming again because this is getting too long. The proper use of inner knowing comes when you flow with your authentic feelings, embracing all that experiences you encounter in life as learning lessons rather than hardships. Salmon teaches you to see every bend in the river as a new adventure, with a lesson you need to learn in order to grow. That knowledge becomes authentic wisdom through applying these truths to your life. Thank you so much, Scorps, and again, happy birthday. Peace.